Hi guys, I'm Mar.
Okay, I'm Asia. And this is the Need to Know.
Alright, today we are talking age gaps and double standards in relationships. So to start off, have you ever dated, okay, from the woman's side, have you ever dated somebody that's older and somebody that's younger?
I've only ever dated one person that was younger
Like
than
your
me.
whole life?
No, I'm like,
Oh, you
I'm
dated.
like, I ain't never really had a boyfriend for real, but like, I've dated one person that was younger than me. Yeah, one person that was younger than me. That was my first interaction with anybody ever in life, like middle school days. And I was just like, never again. I ain't doing this no more. They too immature. After that, I slowly realized as I was dating older, 2, 3 years older, 5 years, 6 years older, like once I started really dating people that's older than me, I realized that they were just as immature as the person that was 1 year younger than me. So it was just like, wow, that's crazy, but okay.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I've dated both sides. I've dated people that's younger than me and people that's older. The person that, it was a couple people. The couple people that was younger than me was like, you kind of realize like very fast how immature they can be. Like on the surface, they look alright. It's like, alright, cool. Like they kind of on the same level. It's not until like you get into a situation where it's like say for example, an argument. Like you would think one way and it's like, okay, this is the direction. But then they'll say something and it's like I didn't think that way. Like the last time I thought that way was like in high school or something. So, or they'll say something in an argument that you'd just be like,
where's that coming from?
Like I was mad, immature, I was petty. That, like you'll see it very fast. People that's older, like I'm currently dating somebody that's older than me, and it's like I don't know. I see a big difference. Like even though like I feel like personally, I feel like age doesn't like level up to maturity. I feel like maturity has its own age, in a sense. But the person that's older than me, it's like they kind of think the same as me. Like there's not arguments where we're like disrespectful or petty. It's more like we have conversations. I don't know, I feel like dating somebody younger, like you can, it's just more times than not when you're having a conversation like or a like disagreement, it'll turn into something disrespectful because they don't know how to communicate yet. So
but I feel like the same can be said for on my side, dating someone older. Like I just recently dated someone that was older than me, and they were very immature to the point where it's like I don't even want to commit to you because of how immature you are. Like it's literally, and I'm talking like 6 years older than me. So it's just like I'm wasting my time, literally. Like very immature. Like it even like with my social media posts, if I reshared something, it was a constant comment about why I'm posting this on social media, or I don't do this for you, or it's like I feel like you're mixing your insecurities with just regular everyday life, and it doesn't have to be like that. To me, that's very immature because it's like every day I found myself saying, where's this coming from? Or why are we arguing over this? Or where is this coming from? Like it was just very immature to where it's like I just don't have time for that. I don't date my age, I'll be honest, but I'm realizing that people my age in friendships have a lot more maturity, or they think the same way that I do, versus dating someone that's older and they just don't have the time for me to like grow or things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like things to them is not as immature as I would see it, because it's like this is regular now. You know what I'm saying? Whereas they're like, no, this is disrespectful, or this is this, and I'm just like.
To that point, do you feel like the maturity level and age gaps like for women versus men is different?
You think so?
I kind of do. I feel like, cause I'm not gonna lie, I'm a guy, but I feel like most guys, there's some guys whose maturity level like it's there once they're like 18. Like I've seen it plenty of times where like even before 18, like I've seen guys who like they're very mature at a young age, whereas most men like we really don't reach maturity level until like 30s, because most guys in their 20s is still trying to like figure out life. Whereas I feel like, I can't really speak for women, but I know a lot of women who like, even at 18, like they know what they want, they understand what life is about. And so a lot of times like they don't take bullshit lightly. Whereas guys, like we're all about bullshit until we're 30. That's when we realize like, oh shit, all right, I need to get my shit together. So
I feel like the maturity thing goes back to how you were raised or brought up, or what your childhood was like. So it's not necessarily that, you know, it's an age thing, but more so like how you were raised. Because in my opinion, I think men were babies. Like every man to me is a mama's boy. So they're gonna be a little bit less hard on their son, you get what I'm saying? And with their daughters, they don't want their daughters to get hurt, or they don't want them to go through certain things. So they're super hard on their daughters, you get what I'm saying? Meanwhile, their sons is just like, all right, you don't have to go through this, or you don't have to do this, or make sure you find a woman that's like this. Everybody's like conditioned a little different from at home. So it also affects your maturity level. Like your mom is gonna do so much more for a guy. Like I've noticed it. Like they do more for boys because it's just different. Like they don't have to worry about this or do like this as far as a mom's opinion. You get what I'm saying? Like especially if the father was absent in their life. So the maturity comes to me from your home life, how you was responsible, or however your parent held you accountable for certain things. I feel like that's where the maturity comes in. Girls is always don't get pregnant, don't do this. So we was always forced to be responsible from day one. It was just always don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. Whereas, you know, boys even from their uncles, you can have a little fun with this girl or do this, or you know, you ain't gotta worry about it. Don't worry about what your mom says. You know, she's just overreacting. It's like we're conditioned differently, girls and guys, and I feel like that's why the maturity comes in at different places, like later on in life.
Like I would say, I mean, as a kid, I was kind of a mama's boy. Like I'm not gonna lie, like she wasn't like on me, or I wasn't like spoiled to the point where like I was on her every day. But more so like I would see with my sister, she was like hard on my sister versus me and my brother. Like she was a little more lenient because due to the absence of a father, like she didn't really know how to raise a boy. She just kind of did it from her perspective. I don't know. For me, I guess I was a little different. Like even then, like I still learned and coming from a Caribbean like household, it was like you can't be immature, like, but I mean nah.
Baby, please. Boys get babies. Boys get
They
girls.
do.
That's true. Okay.
Boys like no,
With a-
like Haitian men usually they're baby, like they're mama's boys, like they like in reality like they're like that.
Oh yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of like they're usually more keen to their mom, even though their dad would be.
I feel like that's most Caribbeans though.
I agree, but I also agree if there's a male.
If there's a father figure, like
then it's
more strict.
They're
Like,
strict. Like they're very, very strict on on boys.
On
like,
boys,
if
yeah.
If there's a man involved, if there's the father, any type of like male figure, they're very, very strict on guys. Especially African culture, like they're but they're very lenient in a sense as well. Certain things they're very lenient. So I feel like also the conversation goes into structure and responsibility because as much as you have something going on at home, you still might have a responsibility to always take your little sister to school or make sure she doesn't fight with this person or do this, that, and third.
Right.
Like you still have this authority to do this. And that's just the reality.
That's just life.
That's just what it is. Women are meant to, and it goes to maturity because women are meant to nurture. That's just the reality of it. Men are not meant for that. Men are
They're supposed to provide.
Yes.
And women are to nurture children, so.
that's true.
So it's like the structure in reality still comes from the woman.
I don't know. I feel like head of household kind of like, I don't know. To me, that word kind of doesn't exist because I feel like when raising a child, like it is doable to do it one parent, but I feel like both parents need to be there in order for that child to be raised, like, you know, not perfectly or the proper way, but more so like
Traditionally.
they need the mother and the father, because I feel like as much as the mother can do, like there's certain things that a mother can't teach her son. Like her son's gonna have to learn either from uncles or older brothers or even like, you know, just outside mentors or something. Because like mothers can't teach a son how to be a man because she doesn't know what a man is. You know what I'm saying? Like she could teach.
But how does a man know what a man is?
But that's what I'm saying.
Men aren't men. Like in reality,
but that's what I'm saying.
Like
that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like that's why like boys need fathers, because it's like as much as the mother can do, the mother can only teach her son what she thinks a man is, or how she's seen what men look like or what they do. But it's like she doesn't know like what a man thinks, how a man moves. Like,
so let's ask you this question. So why can't a woman teach her son how a woman should be treated? Did you see how I just flipped that?
No,
it's
she
like,
can.
Exactly. So now that man is gonna run with that. Okay, now I need to be kind. I need to be emotional. I need to give this, but I can still be strong. I can still provide.
But most women don't know how a man should treat a woman because they weren't treated as such. So it's like just a broken cycle that goes literally around. Like you can't expect a woman to teach her son how to treat a woman, either one, unless she wanted to be treated a certain type of way, so she's teaching her son how she wanted to be treated at some point in life, or she's teaching him how she was treated. It's one or the other, you know what I'm saying? I've heard females tell their son like, yo, you don't, like if a girl hits you, hit them back.
I've heard that.
And it's just like, why?
Like,
that's not what a man would tell another man. He's not
Like,
gonna
you should
teach
never
his
put your hand
son
on.
to hit a girl back no matter what she does. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a man understands if I hit a female the wrong way,
Going to jail.
I could hurt her or possibly go to jail. You know what I'm saying? But from a female, females teach it themselves. If a girl hit you, hit their ass back. Like, so they're going to teach their son a female tendency is to hit back. That's acting from emotion, which men don't tend to do. You get what I'm saying? They don't tend to act from emotion. That goes back to what the last episode was about the social media and the clout chasing. People don't want tradition no more because it's not cool. It's just not cool. You can't put tradition on social media and it's cool. Only some people who really embrace themselves and make it, little fun fashion or whatever, they can go on social media and be their complete self, like whatever culture, whatever they eat. Because everything is ill, that's nasty, that's ugly. It's too much judging for people's culture, which back in the day we would not do. Social media gave people the voice to say and do whatever, even be disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? So the double standard is even bigger now than what it was before.
People don't modernize. People think that they cannot modernize tradition, but you can, because in reality you're still gonna pick. Because the dish that your grandma made 30 years ago is not gonna be the same. For her to make it, yes. For her to make it, most likely, but for you to take on that recipe, it's like, okay, I'm gonna throw this in it because I like this, or I know that if I do this, it might be good too as well. Like, so you can always modernize something. People don't think so. People think that, they was doing that and we just gotta do it like that. No, it's okay. I like this from this part, blah, 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 blah.
But
I'm pretty sure you don't like a lot of stuff, like.
But a lot of times, like, I feel like the reason why most parents today's generation, like, raise children opposite of what they were raised is because more likely that structure that they were raised in, like, they hated how they had to do homework every night and have no iPad or nothing. Or like, I come from a family where, like, when I was being raised, like, there was no playing video games like all day or bringing iPads and phones to school. Like, I didn't have a phone until high school, and that was because, like, the structure in my home was literally, like, you have to read a book, you have to do your work, like, you have to stay focused on school. Like, and even TV, like, we couldn't stay up past like 9 o'clock. Like, 9 o'clock is bedtime. Like, they shut the TV off. Like, but that's because, like, they understand that back in that time, like, when I was growing up, like, technology was just coming around. So it was like, they understood that technology was not good for a kid, because then if you get sucked into it, it's like, you become that's it. Like, you become so dependent on it that it's like, what is reading a book? What is writing a paper? Like, you don't do that anymore. Now, today, it's like those kids who are having babies at like 16, 17, it's like they're still being raised by their families, but they realize that they hate that structure so much that they allow their kids to have iPads and phones.
Because they're still young themselves.
Yeah, it's like they haven't fully learned why their parent was doing that. Instead, they were just more so stuck on the lesson. And so when they have kids at such a young age, it's like they don't want their kids to grow up they don't want their kids to grow up the way they were raised. And so, or
they don't want their kids to feel a certain way towards them, like how they felt towards their parents at a certain age.
But that's the thing, like, you're supposed to allow like, sometimes, like, you have to let a kid cry. Sometimes you have to let a kid be upset, because then they understand why this is wrong or why they shouldn't do this. Instead, if you keep pampering to a child every time it cries or it's sad or it gets something wrong, you're never gonna teach it why this is wrong. Like, I see it all the time in school now. Like, I even, like, I work in a school.
Everybody's the winner nowadays. Nobody can be a loser.
You can't lose. Like, if a kid doing a math problem and he gets it wrong, like, the parent will get mad that you gave them an X, and it's like, no, it got it wrong because it's wrong. Like, that's how you fix the problem.
Yeah, everybody feels too entitled these days.
So
everybody wants to win. Everybody feels entitled.
Why should you pass because you got it wrong? You didn't know how to do it.
Like, you got it wrong. Like, people need to learn.
Just go over it. What did you miss?
Exactly. And I think that's where the immaturity lies, especially with men. Like, a lot of boys are naturally immature. Like, we love, like, from a very young age, you notice how most boys in school, like, they like to play around and joke around and, like, hit people and do stuff, whereas the girls are usually the ones that's, like, quiet, doing their work. The parents of today's generation are not, like, stopping that in boys. That's why a lot of boys are growing up to be even more immature, because it's like, as parents, like, you're not stopping your kid from doing that. Like, you're not telling
let him do it. He's a boy.
Yeah, like,
he's young.
He's a boy. Like, he's supposed to do this. He's supposed to like girls and hit them. No, he's not. Like, you're supposed to stop that. I mean, that's rare, but like.
No, because then it's looked at as, she's being fast, oh, she's being this,
that's true.
oh, she's being something.
Okay.
She's being something what she ain't supposed to be doing. Girls are held to too high of a standard, if you ask me. It's like, I can't even be a person because I got to worry about being a girl who's going to be judged because I did this, this, and this.
That's true.
It's just not fair.
I mean, I never agree with the double standard at all. Like, it's just, I've seen it too many times, especially with my sister. Like, there was so many times where she, like, if she goes out with a boy, my mom is like, oh, she'll tell her, like, not to have sex or something like that. But if it was me, she'll be like, oh, wear a condom.
Your oldest sister?
And it's like, huh?
Your oldest sister?
Yeah.
Yo,
like,
she
my
a
mom.
grown woman.
But now I'm saying, like, when she was younger,
like, yo, she a grown ass woman.
Like I've seen.
She say, yo, she grown woman.
She grown,
like I've seen in certain situations, like it'll be the exact same situation, and like my mom wouldn't yell at me as much, and she'll yell at my sister for the same exact thing. So it was like, I always understood that like girls go through a lot more than guys do, but I don't know. To me, I feel like it depends on the parent. Like if it's a mom on a daughter, like I feel like moms are naturally gonna be hard on daughters, and like if it's a son with a father, fathers is always gonna be hard on their sons. Well, not always, but.
For the most part. Yeah.
That's why I feel like the immaturity in men lies because, let's be real, especially in the black culture, like there's no fathers around, and so.
Or uncles or anything.
So.
It's crazy because I'm reading this book and it has to do with how black women are portrayed in social media and how they're looked at, and they're always like how they have this specific way that they're always being.
Oh, like diminished.
Degraded and so like. I just started, but it's really good, and it's just like, you wouldn't think about these things, like, and it's in movies, like, for example, she brought up Tyler Perry, like, he be wildin', and you would think that, this is a black man writing about our stuff, but it's like, he's doing the same thing, and he's supposed to be, uplifting us and doing all this stuff and making movies about us and having black actors, but it's like, you're still doing the same thing that other white people are doing, and the same thing.
That's true.
So it's like, where is the change and where's the growth?
So I have a question. Like you said, I seen the whole Tyler Perry thing too, where there was a lot of commentary about it on social media at one point, where it's like Tyler Perry should be uplifting us, and he's just doing the exact same thing that everybody else is doing, which is what you just said. And he came out, and to his defense, he was like, well, this is like, I'm just giving people the real raw on what really goes on in our culture. So everybody's perspective is also different on it. But for us to be able to, like, me and you, we're saying things like, where's the uplifting? Because we're out of the caliber of the norm for black women in social media. You get what I'm saying? We're not the norm. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, what about people like us? What about the black woman that's like us, that's not like that? Why can't you write things like that about us?
Like, why do I have to be still an angry black woman? Why can't I just be regular? Like, why can't I walk
Exactly. So it's like, even if we don't fit the statistic, because they do so much promoting and things like that, it's like we still in that statistic just because of the color of our skin.
I was gonna say, like, social media, especially, well, going back to like age gaps and stuff, like I feel like nowadays we've come so accustomed to how social media portrays like what a black woman is or what a black man is. Like, we never change the cycle. It's like,
exactly.
It's like, yeah, like our parents raised us to be, oh, yeah, you're supposed to go to school, you're supposed to go to college, blah, blah, blah. It's like, and don't get me wrong, there's certain topics where I see like we're breaking the cycle. Like, I see a lot more young people like not going to college and doing their own business. But like in terms of like double standards and how people are supposed to be, it's like, we know it's wrong, but we keep doing it over and over. Like, especially with raising our kids now, like, or, for the next generation, it's like, we don't tell the young boys and the young girls like what's supposed to happen. We just kind of fall into the trap of like, okay, well, a black woman is supposed to be beautiful. If you don't got this kind of hair, it's like, you're not beautiful. So it's like, we're not telling our young girls, no matter what, like, you're still beautiful on your own. Even though we know it's wrong, it's like, we still fall into the trap because it's like, it's so easy to do that.
Definitely fall into the
are taught at a very
young age. And that's why I feel like, I haven't did no real research, but based on what I could see, the majority of the people that's getting like altercations and work done on their body is of the black community. Like, everybody is doing it. Like, I have friends that have literally went and got altercations to their body, and I'm just like, why are you doing that? Like, to me, it doesn't make sense because I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but like, we grew up together. Like, what was so wrong with you? Like, nobody called you ugly growing up. Like, what is making you do that? It's just insecurity that's just been naturally instilled into us over time. You know what I'm saying? From everywhere.
And social media just enhances it. Like, it just makes it worse. It's like you see
Yeah.
models, you see magazines, books, all that. It's like you see the same type of woman, and then it's to a point where it's like, damn, why do I not look like that? Like, should I change something? Like, am I not beautiful enough? Like, and then that's what happens. Like, you just fall victim to what you see on social media, and then it's like, then to the point of the last episode, it's like, okay, I'm a, you know, damn, I lost it. Lord.
Damn, I lost it.
I'll come back to it. But yeah, social media, listen, age gaps. Oh, matter of fact, because I'm like, damn, all right.
The 2 minutes fucked him up.
All right, coming back to relationships with age gaps. Have you ever dated somebody that is your age? Like, whether it was like say you 21, they 21, or like you 21 and they 20, but they birthday like tomorrow or some shit. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Those don't normally work for me because the immaturity is definitely like very much so visible. I try not to like hold people to like their age because I know like there's people my age, there's men my age that's mature, or my perspective of mature. There's people like that's my age, but it's like majority of people my age is not the mature that I'm seeking. You get what I'm saying? They're not where I want to be or where I want them to be, and it's just like it doesn't really work for me. So I seek an older age male. And when you get to know this older age male, it's like you immature too. Like you not where I want you to be too, and you 5 years older than me. Like what am I missing out on now? Like am I too mature? Should I go to 40 now? Like should I just skip a whole decade? Like what should I be doing? It's like I just, like you said, age doesn't really define maturity, but I feel like if someone is outside their maturity group, like as far as being mature for their age, because we've all heard that, oh, you're mature for your age, or, you know, you don't think like everybody else, or something like that. It's just, damn, if I'm mature for my age, that means I should be a little less mature to be dating somebody in my age group. Like, I'm requiring too much from my age group at this point, you get what I'm saying? So, I don't know, it doesn't really work out for me, but I have dated people my age, and it just does not work. Actually, me dating anybody does not work right now. I think I'm gonna be single forever, so. Yeah, you know, it's that type of thing.
Well, no, I would say I dated people in my age group too.
Does it work?
At my same age, no, it doesn't.
But why do you think it doesn't work?
I have no clue. I feel like at that time I just picked the wrong person, and I feel like a lot of times like when you're picking or when you're like dating somebody, like you don't realize their maturity level until you actually get to know them. Because like people are not gonna portray their maturity like on the first date.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
a lot of people are gonna like try to impress you, so they'll like do the most. But then once they get comfortable, it's like then you really start to see like, oh, this nigga's immature. Like
that's so true.
it's like nah, like I would not think that way. It's like why are you
That
doing
should
that?
be a red flag. Them trying to impress you.
That too. Like if you know, nah,
But
some
there's
people
no
some people
real
like
way to
really play
tell.
it.
Yeah, they can really like me. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
I'm one of those people that's really playing with it. I'm not even gonna lie
Like,
to you.
oh, really
like,
nice. Like, oh.
if I see somebody that's real mature, I'm like, hold on, let me like up my maturity level for the next couple days because, you know, I want this person to like me. It's a natural human thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am mature, but I'm gonna try to up it. I be using words that I used in 6 years because this person is using them level of words, and it's just like, all right, let me up my maturity level so this person will like me. Like, I can be that mature, but I'm not normally that mature on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people can hide it very well, and you really don't know it until you in too deep, and it's like you got feelings, and they crazy now, and it's like, why you acting like this? It's because really I was never this mature. I was pretending, and now I'm not pretending. Can you handle it? It's like, it's one of those type of situations, you know? I just like to be by myself now. Like, when the right person comes, whatever's for me will be for me, and I'll know that when it comes. And right now it didn't come. Like, ain't nobody for me right now. Everybody's too immature, whether you're 6 years older, 10 years older, 5 years younger. My soulmate might be a 6-year-old. Who knows?
Oh no.
Imagine I'm like 40 and they're like 23 now.
They don't listen.
That might be my soulmate.
Your maturity level could be high as hell, and you 13. That is a dub. Like, no.
But I'm saying like when you get 40 and they're like 20 or something like that. You get what I'm saying?
They
They could be 6 now. Like I wouldn't date them while they 6.
I don't know why, but like every time I see a couple and it's like the man is like 45 and the girl's like 21. I know it's legal, but it's like
It doesn't look
it look weird, bro. Like, yo, you a whole 2 decades.
Like you my whole dad.
Yeah, like you was 25 when she was born, bro. It's like, nah, you wildin'. Like, I don't know. I mean, it could work for them. Like, kudos to y'all, but I don't know. That look weird. Like,
It does look weird, I'll be honest. I can't see myself 44. 40 was a drag, but I can't see myself really dating and being with somebody that's like 65 or something. Like people really be doing that these days, and they be full on doing it, like out dates, taking pictures. I'm like, is that your dad? No, this is my husband. What? Yeah, who? Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't. You know, your son is like my boyfriend now. Like, this is crazy. And my sister is your wife. Life.
That's weird.
It is weird, but you know, those situations do exist in life.
All right, so to wrap up, I would say, what advice would you give people who are like dating outside their age?
Be yourself at all times. Like, no matter what age, be yourself. Damn, I had something else. Be yourself in something else. Damn, what is it? Y'all can't help me? It's be yourself in something else. But be yourself. That's the most I could say. Be yourself, and if it's not for you, then just walk away. Like, don't try to pretend to be someone you're not. Don't try to accept something that you're not comfortable with. If that person makes you feel a certain type of way, like I've dated people that were older than me and were too embarrassed to date me outside publicly because I was younger than them. And it's just like, I'm not gonna settle for this because you're not even happy with me, but you're the one dating me. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're embarrassed with me, then just don't be with me. So if I had any advice, be yourself and just don't tolerate anything between age groups. That's all.
Yeah, I would say, like, don't let age just like stop you from getting to know somebody. Like, I know people who dated like 28-year-olds and they 21. At the end of the day, like, if that person is for you and the relationship like is evolved, then go for it. But I would say, like, first of all, don't expect maturity from somebody that's older. Like, it's not always the case. And two, like Asia said, like, be yourself. Like, at the end of the day, if that person is for you, that person will click like automatically, no matter how old or young they are. Let me backtrack. Because if you 21 and shorty's like 12, you're wilding. You're bugging. Like,
she's not for you.
18 and up, please. 18 and up.
She's for
like,
toddlers and tiaras. She's not for you.
That's a fact. But nah, in all seriousness, like, just be yourself. If that person is for you, then it will click automatically, no matter how old they are. But if that person's not for you, then you'll know. So, all right. So by then, the documentary is out. Like, I'm putting this on the map. It's out. Go watch that.
Go watch that.
Also, of course, Asia's business.
Yes, Not So Basic sunglass shade wear. Make sure you go and cop up my website, www.notsobasic.com. Basic as in BASIXX. You know, they're gonna put it on the screen somewhere because that's a lot.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter _we want more, and y'all can follow the show's page on Instagram and Twitter. It's TNTK Show. As always, thank you guys for watching the show.
That's all you need to know.
Bye, guys.